Hi, it's Wendy, and I have a question for you. Have you ever come home from work or after a busy day out and about and really thought roast chicken sounded like a great dinner, except you didn't stop at the store for a rotisserie chicken? You have a regular chicken, a real chicken, but it's not cooked. And you know that a 5-pound chicken is going to take about 2.5 hours, and nobody wants to wait that long for dinner. I have, and because of that, I learned a technique that will cut cooking a roast chicken down by half, and it's really easy, and that's what I'm going to show you today. What's it called? Spatchcocking your chicken. I know, it's a weird word, isn't it? Let me put this guy off to the side because we're going to start with mixing up an herb rub because my hands are pretty soon going to be kind of nasty and I don't want to be touching everything else. So let's set this bad boy off to the side. And I'm going to mix up my herb rub first. Now, spatchcocking is an Old English word. Nobody can really pinpoint exactly where the word came from. It sounds like it's German, and it could be, but according to all the research I did, it's pretty much something that has come down from Old English, like Middle Ages English, and the best any of the word sleuths can come up with is dispatching the cock, which was a chicken, and dispatching meant and that's pretty much where the word comes from. For us, it means cutting out the backbone, making the chicken lay flat, and cutting the cooking time in half. So for my rub, which I'm going to put on the chicken and in the chicken, I have about a tablespoon of herbes de Provence, and I put that in my little silicone cup. This is a mix of all kinds of really fragrant savory herbs. This is thyme, fennel, rosemary, and lavender, and this is one of my favorites, and it's so perfect for any kind of poultry. It's perfect on pork. It's just perfect in so many things, and it smells amazing. And I'm going to use about a tablespoon, maybe 2, of 3 onion rub. These are Pampered Chef Pantry products. Now, the herbes de Provence is salt-free, but 3 onion rub does have some salt. So for me, because I'm cutting salt out of our diet, I am not going to add any additional salt. There's salt in here, and that's good. I'm going to mix these two up so that I have a nice blend, and then I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of freshly ground pepper. And again, no salt, although you could add salt if you want to, and mix it up. Now I'm going to take most of half a stick of butter. Yeah, I know that's a lot of butter, but it's going to be worth it. So this is probably actually about 3 tablespoons of butter, softened butter, room temperature. And I'm going to mix it with the spatula into my herbs because I'm going to rub this all over the chicken and under the chicken skin, because this is what is going to really give my chicken a nice fragrance while it's cooking, and it's going to be savory and delicious. You'll forget all about takeout chicken when you taste this. All right, so when you're done, you'll have a paste that looks like this. Easy, right? This is almost the hardest thing to do. Almost. All right, so we're going to set that aside because I'm done with that. Let me clear away my herbs and let's get to the chicken. Now, I have my chicken already washed and patted dry. You want to pat your chicken dry because that enables the skin to get crisper, and so you want to do that ahead of time. So I've washed it, I've patted it dry. Now let's talk about a fresh chicken for just a moment. A lot of people are not really familiar with working with fresh chickens because they just never have. So this is the breast of the chicken. These are the legs, obviously. This is the top of the chicken, if you will, wings. And this is what you would normally see. This is the bottom of the chicken. You can see it's a little wetter, so I'm going to dry it off. This is where the backbone is, and this is where we're going to be doing our work. So I'm just going to dry this off, put that plate aside, and put it on my work surface. So if you flatten the chicken out, breast down, you've got wings, legs, backbone. Well, we've got to get rid of this backbone for the technique that we're doing. And so we're going to do a little surgery. It's not as hard as it sounds. Start with the legs, the drumsticks toward you. And you want to take some really good sharp kitchen shears and just go on one side of the little tail piece. And you'll see if you look at it. Well, let's look inside for a second. All right, so here's inside. And we're going to cut through here, and we're going to cut this out. So again, flip it over. Come back here, chicken. All right. Good kitchen shears are essential for this. This is the easiest way to do it. And if they're nice and sharp, you'll be able to cut through these little rib cage bones, and it doesn't take much effort at all. You want good kitchen shears because kitchen shears actually come apart so that you can wash them, and I'll show you that in a minute. See how easy that is? Just cutting right through all the skin and bone. Takes a little hand pressure, not too much. And then we get up to this top part, and this bone is a little thicker right here. I'm gonna, there, snap right through it, right? So now we've got our chicken opened up like this. And you can see the inside of the chicken. So now you can see where I was cutting. This is the backbone, and I just cut right along one side. Now I'm going to cut along this side, and I'm going to remove this, but I'm not going to throw it away. This makes terrific stock for soup. So I always save vegetable trimmings and bones because soup stock is one of the staples that everybody should know how to make. And having remnants from your chicken, even if you buy rotisserie chicken, don't throw away the bones. Save it because you can make stock, and it's really good. So this chicken, I cut through one layer to get the bones cut, and then I'm snipping through the skin, and now I'm coming back up here to the top where the thicker bone is. So I'm going to angle my scissors in there, and this is a little hard. There we go. Okay, no problem, right? Easy to do. Here's the backbone of the chicken. It has a little bit of meat on it, but this is for soup, okay? Don't throw it out. Seriously, don't throw it out, but set this aside for soup. It is usable, just not for us to eat. Now, I'm going to just dry off the inside of the chicken and look and see if there's any thing that needs to be cleaned, and there isn't. This is a pretty good clean chicken. There's a little extra fat pocket right here, and I'm going to cut that off. Now this is optional, you don't have to do that, but I'm also trying to reduce the amount of fat in our diet, and I won't need it. There's plenty of fat already on this chicken, so that's going to go in the soup pot too. All right, so here is our chicken. No more backbone. Pretty flat, right? Now what we're going to do, you can see that the breast is humped up, and this is the thickest part of the chicken at this point. And I really want to flatten it to be about the same thickness as the thighs and legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on the breastbone, right? You can feel the breastbone right in here, and I'm going to look for a point. If you feel it, you can feel where it kind of points up just a little bit, and press really hard on it. There. I don't think you heard it crack, but when you press hard enough, it will crack, and then it lays flatter. And with a few times of doing this, you'll know how hard to press to begin with. So now this is about the same thickness as my thighs, which is good, so everything's going to cook about the same. Now I'm noticing that my chicken has some feathers. It wasn't cleaned exceptionally well on the tips, so I'm just going to cut those feathers off. I don't want them burning in the oven. They smell when they do that. All right, no more feathers. So now it's time to put the goodies in here, the seasoning. And let me show you these scissors before I set these aside. Kitchen shears separate so that you can wash them. So you don't have to worry about what you're cutting, because you can go back, you can sanitize your scissors, you can clean them, and that's what makes kitchen shears a really valuable investment. You can do about 1,000,000 jobs in the kitchen with a good pair of shears. So I'm going to put these in the sink. They'll get washed. All right, so now let's put some seasoning in this guy. I'm going to rub some of my herb butter on the inside of the chicken. Just flip him over her. And just rub some butter on there. And remember, all my seasoning, salt, pepper, flavor agents, herbs, whatever are in there. And chicken's such a good blank palate. You can make it taste like anything you like. All right, now I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to put it on the sheet pan where it's actually going to cook. And move that aside. All right, because now I'm going to do a little magic. I'm going to insert my finger under the chicken skin of the breast. I'm going to put my whole hand in here. And if you've never done this, it is kind of creepy feeling the first time, but you can get your hand in here really easily. You just have to kind of go slowly at first till you know what you're doing, because you don't want to break the skin, but you do want to get under the skin like this. All right, so my hand is under the skin. Let's show you this way. And that gives us a really nice pocket to load up with some seasoning. So I'm going to rub my herb butter in here. This helps keep the breast meat nice and moist too. And gosh, it gives such good flavor. You can do this with a turkey or Cornish game hen, whatever you've got, any kind of poultry. And then I'm going to take the rest of my herb butter and I'm just going to cover it all over. Now you could go in and do the thighs the same way, and I think maybe I'll do that too, because I've got enough herb butter here. Just go in between the skin and the meat and put some seasoning on it. This is going to make it taste so good. All right, so we're all dressed up, almost ready to go to the party. Lay it flat, turn those legs. This one doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. Turn those legs out so they're flat. Now, take the wing tips and turn them under. Now, this is a little tricky. The first time you do it, you'll think you're doing it all crazy, but you can turn the wings under and it makes a little platform. So just kind of go towards you and turn down, and that joint will move. Some chickens it's easier than others. All right, there we go. So now I've got, oh, that wing does not want to stay there. I might have to just let it go. There we go. All right. That is it. My chicken is now ready for the oven. If you had this chicken in its original form, it would take about 2.5 hours at 350. This is a little over 5 pounds of chicken. But since I have flattened it now, and it's all making contact with this sheet pan that's going to get very hot. This chicken, 5.5 pounds, is going to take maybe an hour, hour 15. So that's half as long. Learning this technique is a really great way to speed up getting dinner on the table. It's easy, it's really impressive when you see this come out of the oven, and I will be back to show you what it looks like when it's finished. It gets all brown and golden, and the skin is crispy, and it smells fantastic. Because you put the herb butter on, it's nice and moist and juicy. People are blown away when they see this, because typically this is a presentation you only get in a high-end restaurant. Because you see there's a little bit of manual labor, but not much. It didn't take long. I had it ready to go in less than maybe 10 minutes. So that's spatchcocking your chicken. So if you have any questions, please let me know. You can ask them under the video. I will be back with another video probably tomorrow to show you how to make dessert to go with this lovely dinner. So I want to thank you for joining me. This is Wendy from Wendy's Home for Dinner, Pampered Chef Kitchen, and it's been my pleasure to have you visit with me. Try this. It's really fantastic. You'll love it. I can't wait to have it for dinner, and I'll show you a picture of it when we serve it. I think I'll make mashed potatoes and gravy. Oh yeah. All right, have a great evening, everybody.